Why are Nigerian men loved abroad but neglected at home?
In SA, right, we love our Nigerian men.
Our.
The reason why we love Nigerian men, firstly, the way they treat us compared to our own South African guys. You know, a Nigerian man will always make sure that you're good.
Hey!
He will go out of his way to make sure that you are fine. Like, whatever I need. If, for instance, now I'm like, babe, I need to buy hair. I need to make my hair for like 500K. He will not complain. I mean, if he's a correct guy, he has the money. He won't even think twice about giving. Yeah, he won't even think twice about giving you the money. Do you understand? Now, if I have to put like a South African guy and I'm like, babe, I need 500K to do my hair, the guy will start complaining first, like 500K.
In South Africa, some women, especially like these affluent women that like the flashy lifestyle, they prefer Nigerian guys because the Nigerian guys, they give money. Too much money. Yeah. So whether they're dating you or it's just a one-night smash, the Nigerian guys still pay money.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, you know.
No, it's business, no love.
It's not just business. It's like even when you're dating them, they say, you know, they still treat you better on average than other guys.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, casually, I don't think Southern African men or East African men or European men, American men, I don't think they have a spoiled culture to women as much.
No, they don't.
Yeah, here you guys.
No. I believe what contributes much to what we do is actually our tradition.
Okay.
How we were raised up. You understand? Right. It's always been the men providing for the women.
Today, I'd like to talk about something which has been going on social media, about on YouTube, social media, about Kenyan women and Nigerian men. Ati Nigerian men are snatching Kenyan women away. It's not true. It's not true. You know, Nigerian, they're just like our brothers, you know. Nigerians have come up openly to do their work perfectly. If this thing is not true, you know, Kenyan ladies, they love Nigerian men, especially the foreigners, not even Nigerian men in general. They love foreigners. So this we have to understand as Kenyans. So one thing that they say that Kenyan women, Nigerian men are snatching Kenyan away from Kenyan men. It's not true. It's Kenyan women have decided to chase over Nigerian men. What? Because their men have already decided to be soft. Secondly, they've decided to be stingy. Thirdly, there's no affection. Fourthly, they don't care. This is what has already come over Kenyan men. Kenyan men have become lazy on their work. That's why foreigners are beating them. Before, it used to be like Muzungus are snatching Kenyan women away. Now it's Nigerians snatching Kenyan women away. Very soon, it will be Sudanese snatching Kenyan women away. You see, you failed. That's why your women are busy running over foreigners, not even Nigerian men. And me, I don't blame Nigerian men. They are our brothers. If they've come up boldly to keep your women, you should thank them.
It's beautiful!
In fact, they're doing a better job because they're taking good care of your women, of which you failed on that. So I don't see the reason why Kenyan men would come on a social media and start rebuking Nigerian men like they're snatching the women away from them. This is not true. This is not true. Go to the clubs. I've been to the clubs. You'll see how these women are crazy with foreigners. Leave alone even Nigerian men. They are crazy. In fact, they are very crazy with these Nigerian men because the Nigerian men are giving them the attention they need. They are taking care of them. They have become nicely. They've proved to them that they can take good care of them rather than being with a Kenyan man. So don't be jealous, Kenyan men. If these men are ready to take care of your sisters, you should bravo them. you should be happy. You should feel good rather than just pinpointing them and just throwing words on them and saying that they're doing bad things. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Hi guys, I think this is the right time to go out as Kenyans. Let us be fair. It's not about, see, I wasn't born in Nigeria, but marriage makes me a Nigerian citizen. And let me tell you something. So many of my friends are heavily pregnant right now with Nigerian children. Yes. So many of my friends are single mothers. Because why? Police brutality, discrimination against Nigerians. The Nigerians are afraid. They want a relationship with you, but they are afraid to marry you. Because what kind of country is going to be mistreating them and they will come and marry us? Our kids are Nigerians. They are fatherless. We have children they don't have their father, not because their father does not want to be in their life, because Kenya has deported the father. Kenya has used bribe to pursue the father. Even if they have not yet arrested your husband, they will arrest you. We are scared to date Nigerians. Why? 1 minute you are dating him, the next minute he has gone to buy food, they have arrested him, they want 500,000, they want 100,000. Where do you want to see 100,000? You are afraid of having a Nigerian boyfriend because you don't know when they will arrest him and they will need 200,000. This issue has gotten out of hands. Ashawo, come out. Baby mama, come out. Girlfriend, come out. Wife, come out. You are carrying a Nigerian belly, come out. If Nigerians will follow us to IPOA, it's okay. But they should stay inside. They should stay in their house. This is our country. Excuse me. We are lacking. Women are being rendered husbandless. Women are being, where we have seen small penis. That is what you want to pursue. You want to chase them away so that what? So that we can suffer? So that we will not have orgasms? So that how many Kenyan girls are going to Nigeria, Lagos, and their life is being transformed? They are being given money. My friend went to Nigeria. She did not have matako. Now she came back with matako. And you want to say that Nigerians are mistreating Kenyans in their country? They are not mistreating Kenyans. When they see you in their country, they will feed you. They will give you money. Deny it, even if you not be a shower. Deny it. Any person that has been held hand by a Nigerian man, that person is living well. Our life was transformed the moment these men started having interest at us. Now they don't want to marry us. They are afraid. Which kind of country is Kenya? They are afraid of Kenya. Men are coming here. They just want fun not because Kenyan women are not beautiful. Not because Kenyan women are not good or worth it. Because they are afraid of police issue. Police. We are tired of police brutality. We are tired of discrimination. We are tired of extortion. When they arrest your boyfriend, they ask you not to follow the police because they know that you will fight for him. They ask you to give money. Why do you want to see 50,000? Is it a crime to date a Kenyan woman?
So the frustration you're hearing from this young lady and many like her in these African countries is largely being because these women know that the propaganda that you've heard against Nigerians are not true. And this is the problem that we're having in the age of social media, where people can just put out false information. So I told you guys a long time ago that most of what you're hearing in terms of the negativity with Nigerians in certain part of the world, they're all propaganda. They are all propaganda. They're not true. They're not true news. They're not true information. They are things that are really being pushed by a few vocal, individuals on the internet, because the internet now is a source of disinformation. Believe it or not, a lot of the information on the internet today are false information about certain demographic group, certain people that live in different countries, Nigerians having the brunt of that, and negativity. So when we're seeing xenophobia attack against Nigerians, and the narrative you hear on the news and in many places is that these Nigerians over there committing crimes and doing drugs, that's not true. What has actually been the case is because most of these Nigerians either go there and outshine, outperform, and in many cases the women in those countries prefer those Nigerian men over their own people. That is the real story behind that. And so these Nigerians are not going there just deliberately taking these women. These women are seeing the Nigerian man really take care of women much more than their own men are. And so the news here is that these women are frustrated, and women in South Africa are frustrated because they're finding that the authorities in their countries are putting out false information regarding these Nigerians that are living in these countries. Women in Kenya are starting to speak up. Women in Botswana, women in Ghana, women in various parts of the world are starting to speak up, because these men go there and they treat these women really well. They treat them like women want to be treated. They treat them the way we were raised to treat women, which is to provide, to be great husbands, to really be great protectors. These women know, which is why you're not finding, and that's an interesting part here. Have you noticed that of all the news you hear in terms of Nigeria this, Nigeria that in these countries, what you're not hearing are from the women in those countries? Have you thought of that? That the women in those countries that have been somehow pushing out these false narrative about Nigerians coming into those countries and doing such negativity, the women in those countries know the truth about this whole thing. And now you're seeing these women coming out and saying that is a lie. These men are only here to work. These men are here abiding by the laws. These men are here as great citizens. The reason why these men are being attacked the way they're being attacked is simply because these men are outshining the men in our country, and they're doing things that the men in our countries are not doing. And that is the real truth. You see, I did a video last year, which I'm going to point, and I'm going to link to this video, in terms of the rise of Nigerian high-value man. And that is not something that is mostly pushed out there, because mostly what people want to know about Nigerians and people who have really come used to is that this negativity that you push out there. And there has been an increase of Nigerian millionaires. There's been an increase of Nigerian billionaires. The richest man in the richest black man in the entire world is Aliko Dangote. He's a Nigerian man, and there are many Nigerians like that. And there's a huge rise of high-value Nigerian men. Nigerian men have been known to take care of women much more than a lot of men from other groups. Women prefer these men, because if you've ever dealt with Nigerian men, you know this. Most Nigerian men are just nothing but generous with their wealth to the women that they actually love and the women they have in their lives. If you've dated Nigerian men, you will know this. That is why it is hard for other demographic to compete against Nigerian men for Nigerian women. See, Nigerian women are also very beautiful, very attractive, very highly educated. And as much as you might find a few, silly ones on the internet that might put down their men, you find this from any demographic. They don't put their men down as much as you'll find from either like the African American community. You don't find too many Nigerian women putting their Nigerian men down as you find in the African American community. You might find one or few ones that just want to get views, but those women will never leave those men. They will never trade their Nigerian men for men from other places, when many women from other countries are vying for those men. You find women in all these countries, they are fighting to have Nigerian men in their lives, because they know that their lives are going to be transformed. They know their lives are going to be different. They know that they are going to enjoy living dating Nigerian men, on top of the fact that they know those men are going to love them purely. The Nigerian men are not they're not perfect. No man on the planet is perfect. But what you often hear are the false narrative behind why these men are in these countries. And let me speak about Nigerian men in these countries for a second, because another false propaganda you hear is that Nigerians are just leaving their countries and going to these other countries. That's not true. One case in point is Ghana. You often hear people on the internet put out false information. The Nigerians are just flocking to Ghana. Why do they not stay in their country? Do you know that according to Statista, that there are only 77,000 Nigerians in Ghana compared to 500,000 Ghanaians in Nigeria? Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. And Ghana's population is about 33 million. So out of 33 million, 500,000 of those live in Nigeria, which is roughly 1.5% of their population live in Nigeria, compared to Nigeria, which was 213 million, and 77,000 Nigerians live in Ghana, which is roughly 0.03% of Nigerians in Ghana. So who's running to who? Which citizen of which country is running to which country? And so what you hear on the internet, and it's so sad that you even have people in the West, push that false narrative. You have people that are uneducated. I've even often heard African Americans on the internet even saying that Nigerians are flocking to Ghana. Where do you hear that from? You see, that is that uneducated narrative that you hear from people that are uneducated. You see, no educated person like myself will come out and say stuff like that, because I am very careful with my words. And we have to make sure that whatever we say has to be backed by facts and by statistics. You see, I went to school and as much as I would love to come up here and push our false narrative, I can't, because I am an educated person. And I always have to make sure that whatever I say comes from an educated source, from a back source. But you'll find people on the internet, they'll go on and talk about, Nigerians are in these countries and doing this and doing that. And they won't tell you the real fact that these countries are only rejecting Nigerians because Nigerians are coming over there and outperforming a lot of them in many things. Now we're seeing the women from those countries voicing out their frustration, how Nigerian men are badly treated in those countries, and how those women now are voicing and saying that they're being husbandless. They're taking their husband and deporting them. Why? Just because they're married to your women, and just because you didn't like that these men are taking care of us much more than the men that we have in our countries? Is that the crime? And that's the frustration. It's so funny now that we're going to start seeing women from countries fight for Nigerian men in terms of their image. And that is a beautiful thing to see. Because women, naturally, what they're looking for are men that can take care of them, that can really protect them, provide for them. Even in the age that we're in, with women rising up in society, women still want men that are strong, that can really be the man of the house. Women of all demographic group want this. Doesn't matter how much they make, they want a man that can match them or out-earn them. Period. And even the women in the West will tell you this. A lot of the African American women in the West that have dealt with Nigerians, the ones I've come across, will tell you that they prefer Nigerians to their own men.
African men are just like
African men get
But at the same time, we all know like African men everywhere. It's like a lot of like American women that I know, or just not that I know, people in general, like always they've been talking about African men. How great! Oh, they like to spend money, blah blah blah. So do you guys agree? Like,
word.
That's y'all are just like the cream of the crop right now. Like y'all are just like
say it loud.
See that one? Wait, before that, two of my closest friends that didn't know about Africa when I met them. All of them married to Nigerian men.
Wow.
First time they met, they said, "Oh yeah, my sister will see you." I said, okay.
Do you know why?
It feels finally good to see that
I'm
you really
appreciated.
You guys just naturally
they know where we're from.
Appreciate the
culture.
there are American females now that are Googling how to make jollof rice.
It's nice.
You understand? You understand?
We appreciate it.
Unlike before, where it's like, oh damn, you don't even know what pickles is. You don't know
back in the day, we so far though.
You know, see, one of the things that a lot of women in society are struggling with, especially here in the West, you know, and this is with every group, is that women have now been elevated in society due to the feminist movement, due to the campaign to really help support and build women up, which largely started 20 years ago. Women of all demographics group have benefited from this: white, black, Asian, Hispanic. And the men of those groups are, the challenges that men in those groups are facing now is that their women are earning more money than they've always made. In many cases now, the women are out earning them. This has been a huge contention we here in the United States, especially with the African American group, is that the women in the African American community are out earning many of the men in the group, and that has caused a point of contention. And these African American women are now finding that if they're going to meet men that will match them, right, that will match or out earn them in a lot of things, there's two men that come in mind: white and African men. And for the ones that date out of the race, they'll go to the white demographic. The ones that want to stay within the race will go to the African demographic group, and most primarily Nigerians. And that's why you're also seeing a lot of the attack against Africans and Nigerians, even from the African American group. It's because of the women. And they won't tell you this, you know, because men are very prideful. You know, a man will not come and tell you that the reason why he's mad about the other man is because of the fact that he lost his woman to the other man. A man won't say that. But the one thing that pisses men off If you want to piss a man off, go ahead and take his woman. And that is man from any group. He said that is a personal scar for us. We don't like that, right? Because what it shows is that we were weak and we allowed someone else to take our woman. That shows weakness, right? On the highest level. And so when you find men in any group really respond the way they will respond, they usually will use fictitious narrative to paint the other person bad rather than come out and say it. It's because that person really outcompeted them when it comes to resources, when it comes to their woman, when it comes to a lot of these things. And that's the real story here. And what's going on is that we're going to see these types of things continue because society today, right, is shifting. Society is shifting. We're seeing a lot of demographic group elevated. We're seeing a lot of demographic groups recede. And we're seeing the challenge with especially men from every group. And men from every group are doing this. It's not just black. Even white men are going for, they're leaving their women and they're going to date Filipinos. And people from different countries now because they can't also contain their women. So they're going through it, right? And so men that are able to level up, men that are able to, step up to the challenge, men that are able to really build themselves up in society, because women are hypergamous. They'll always date men that have, that few percentage of men in society. It doesn't matter what group they are in. These women will always vying for those men, especially men that are able to build themselves up and create something out here. Women of any group will find those men attractive. And so when you find these African men go to different African countries, especially Nigerians, and go to these countries and they are building these economies for these countries. And while they're there, they happen to meet these women and these women fall in love with them and they fall in love with these women and take care of these women because naturally the way we were raised is to provide for our family. That's the culture that we come from. They're not doing it because they're trying to be competitive. It's just how we're raised. And so these women are finding that these men are better options for them than the men in their countries. And so the men in their countries are free to also go and date Nigerian women. I mean, everyone is free to date whoever they want to date. You just have to level up. You just have to be able to level up. You just have to be able to compete. You just have to be able to take care of women the way women want to be taken care of. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to lose your woman. And you hope that you lose your woman to someone of your same demographic and not someone outside of the race, at least. Right? And I wanted to cover this because that's the interesting part of it. And I'm very glad that women in those countries are speaking up right now. They're speaking out. And I think what we're going to see is Nigerian men are going to be having women fight their battles for them. And I don't mean it in a very, in literally in that sense. But I mean that women are going to start coming out and saying that these narratives that you're hearing about Nigerians are not true. Let me tell you why this is happening. Let me tell you why this is going on. And they will speak up. They will speak up and defend these men because they have a stake in it now. Right? These men are their husbands. These men are their boyfriends. You heard that lady say that these men would love to take care of their kids, but how are they supposed to take care of their children if the Kenyan authority deports them out of Kenya? So basically, Kenya is burdening the economy. Kenya is actually stifling the growth of the economy because now you have mothers with babies, and now the government and the taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill for this. Because of jealousy? Why? Doesn't make any financial sense to me. And you're having these women really lash out, right? And say this is nonsense. This is extortion. They're extorting these men and extorting these women, come up with bogus charges, and they want this man to pay these charges. Why? That's an extortion. And so why would any party, like you heard her say, why would anybody want to come to a country when he can stay in his own country, and his own country is a far better country? Why would they want to come to a country and be extorted that way? No, doesn't mean it. Oh, come on, really? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.
Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh why. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för det baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanlig. Och det jag lägger all min tid. Jag vill ha det. Information och safety.